Guys, this is Alex. He is a student of mine. He went through the program. He went through the 4 weeks, and I want to interview him now because he had some pretty good results. So first of all, Alex, just give us a quick intro. Tell us who you are and how you got into this.
Yeah, so I used to own a landscaping company. I was out there 50 hours a week, busting my ass, went through 15 employees, decided I wanted to build an agency, came across Dan's YouTube channel. I saw him doing it kind of differently than other agencies. He was cold calling, and it was kind of cut and dry. I saw that you cold call and you get sales calls, and then you have an at bat to close a deal. And I was like, all right, it's $1,000. It was $1,000 for a month for a call in the morning and at night, 5 days a week. That's crazy. That's insane. The value in that, like, he actually cares about like you and like how your business is doing. He'll text you throughout the day. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now.
So here's the thing, because you already had a previous business, right? Like most people who do SMMA or even watch the videos, like they don't have any experience. So one thing that I always ask people on the coaching call is, why are you on the call? Because I already give everything away for free online. So why did you decide to do the coaching rather than just trying it?
Yeah. Well, for me, like specifically, I remember thinking this in my head. Don't want to try and troubleshoot everything myself and try to get the dialer set up, try to, go and get the software that we use and figure things out by myself. I like to have somebody there whenever I get into a problem, because it's going to speed the process up for me getting that result. Why not just pay you the $1,000? It's nothing. You're going to get it back. This is like, you pay the $1,000 to have somebody that's always there, that's going to help you get everything set up. It just made sense.
Okay.
Videos, cool. The videos, yeah, you could do it from the videos, but if you want that extra help from Dan, like, he does this. Like, he does it all day. He knows how to do everything. If you ask, like, okay, hey Dan, how can I set this up? He'll literally text you like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 to exactly do it. So you can't beat that.
And that's the hardest thing too, because a lot of people have like, they'll get on the coaching calls and they're like, Dan, is there like a guarantee? Like, what happens if I don't get a client? And I'm like, well, first of all, if I were to hire like a salesperson for my agency, it's not a question whether, I hope it works. Hopefully you get some deals. I'm training them because I know that the system works. So it's really not a matter of will it work. It's just, if you do the actions, it will happen. So yeah, I mean, you were crazy, because I've never had a student like you, again, you have experience doing business. You took the actions right away, which was like, damn, like I've never had a student do that. But tell us what your results were in the 4 weeks. Like, what happened? What has happened since you started?
Yeah. So I had some money. Like, before this, I knew that I'm going to have an agency 100%. I'm getting out of the lawn care business, and I've always wanted to be successful. So I kind of like had to burn the ships mentality. I'm going all in. And initially we picked a niche, which, I probably could have kept going, but it was super hard for me when I just started doing cold calling to get past the gatekeeper. So we switched niches, and we're in a new niche. There's no gatekeepers. I would call like 300 people a day. I was like, I have the money. Why can't I just hire a virtual assistant? I had the limiting belief that I shouldn't hire an assistant before I actually close a deal. If I have the money sitting there, I did anyways. I ended up getting 2 virtual assistants, and they call anywhere from 500 to 700 dials a day. And then I also have one of the assistants that confirms the sales calls for me. She does everything. So if you have the money, then, and you kind of know the process of the sales call or the cold call, then that's what I would do. I would get the virtual assistant. So I have 2 virtual assistants right now. We're getting anywhere from 3 to 5 sales calls a day. I just jump on the sales calls. And then I closed one deal last week for $3,250. That's probably around $2,500 in profit. And yeah, I mean, I just think it's once you close that first deal, you have that confidence again. And you're constantly tweaking things in the sales presentation, your follow-up sequence. So it just gets better and better and better. So, I mean, I've already made my money back for the $1,000. But I think the return on investment for me from the 1,000 is just going to be infinite from here, because Dan gave me the confidence to get the virtual assistants, to take action. Because when Dan's talking to you every day, he's talking to you like he's pretty direct, and he's like, you guys need to get off rest. You have to call the people. Like if you're not doing the 300 calls a day, you're not going to get to the goals. Like what are your goals? Why are your goals? Are they just for money? Like if they're just for money, then that's not a good enough reason to actually call people and like actually exert effort into this. So I mean, I'm really thrilled, like honestly, genuinely, like this is no BS. Like Dan's a man. Like I wouldn't be here without him. I wouldn't have closed that first deal. I wouldn't have virtual assistants right now. I wouldn't be getting 3 to 5 sales calls every single day. Um, yeah, that's where I'm at.
And I love how you say that was a limiting belief, because like
Yeah,
for like, again, most of my students, right, they're just starting.
yeah,
I'm like, well, hold on,
right,
right? Do it yourself, because if you get a VA, you're going to have to train them. But again, you're
right.
just a different breed because you already have
Yeah,
that experience. So that was much
yeah,
easier for you to do.
yeah,
And again, that momentum too, right? It gets easier
right,
as you go through it. So as
for
you're building
sure.
your funnel,
Yeah,
you got your funnel built, and then you look at it and you're like, wait, this is trash. But
right,
you need that experience first to actually do that.
right.
Um, and again, this call really is just about transparency, like the whole
Yeah.
video and stuff like that. So I also want to know, just for
Mhm,
my own reason and for people watching, what is
mhm,
something that maybe you didn't like in the coaching, or maybe something that wasn't like, or something that maybe we could have improved, right?
mhm. Yeah. So the first thing that could have been improved was the initial video, not the video, but the setup process for the go high level for the software and for the dialer. And then there's also a presentation in there that we do on the sales call that I don't know, it works for Dan, but I think it could have been set up a little bit easier. So those are two things that are easy to fix too. But the thing for Dan, Go High Level is literally always changing. They're always updating. Like it's changed probably 5 times since we're using it. So it's not Dan's fault that he's not constantly updating the video. But when I said, "Hey Dan, this is not the same like UI," um, as it is in your video, he still helped me out. He's jumped on the call with me, and we figured it out together. Also, the software that we use is literally insane. They have 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Customer support that you can literally hop in and they'll do whatever you want. So yeah, those are easy changes. Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about that too, right? Like during the coaching, you were like, wait a second, like you should probably be setting expectations a little bit better, because I didn't know about this and that. So that actually has been improved. So thank you for that.
Oh,
And like
sweet.
you said, the initial process, like for the high level. So now at
Yeah.
this point, we actually have
Yeah.
like a snapshot. We're like in the
Oh, sweet.
training that we're
Oh,
adding.
sweet.
So
Yeah.
people can just like, instead of having to just do it themselves with the videos, just import. You're good.
Oh,
Just
sweet.
yeah,
Oh,
they can
yeah.
just
That's
import.
dope.
I didn't
Yeah.
even think about that. I'm like, wait, I've been using high level for a year and I didn't even realize I could
Yeah.
just give people a snapshot. So yeah, thank you
Right.
for that.
Yeah.
Uh, so what are some things that you learned from the coaching that you didn't know before? Because again, you're already in business, you had sales experience. What did you
Yeah.
really learn from the coaching?
Yeah. I mean, the coaching, like I learned, like specifically, well, exactly how to cold call. I, bought this $7,000 course. Me and Dan know both talk about it. This sales guru, and like it wasn't getting me the results that Dan's cold calling method uh, were actually getting me. So it was this, BS like sales script that they were doing, but then Dan's is pretty like, hey, got a quick question for you. Can you guys take on any referrals? Like cut and dry, and that works better. So, I mean, I just had to, believe in what Dan was saying and not thinking that this $7,000 course was actually the better method. So I learned like the right way to cold call. I learned Go High Level completely. I learned, how to train your virtual assistants, because what Dan does when he talks to us is basically what I do to the virtual assistants. Monday through Friday, we hop on a call in the morning and the afternoon. I train them on the cold calling. I ask them if they, are getting any objections. How can we, eliminate the objection? We give them motivation. So that was absolutely key. There's like different offers. You don't only have to sell the high ticket offer. There's different ways that you can get customers on a retainer. Lower ticket offers that work well too. What else did I learn?
Yeah, and we talked about that last night too, right,
Yeah,
Alex? Like literally
yeah,
the last,
yeah,
we were
yeah,
like, wait a second, you don't have to do
yeah.
this offer. There's millions
Right.
of offers out there.
Yep.
So high level is a really great tool for like doing any kind of offer. Like you can do email marketing. We talked about reputation, SEO, stuff
Yeah.
like that too. So
Yeah.
when people watch my videos, I feel like they're just like, okay, well, if I want to do SMMA, it has to be like this. No, it
Yeah.
doesn't.
Right.
Especially people from India, right? I get a lot
Yeah.
of people actually watching my stuff from video. Shout out to
Yeah.
y'all. And they do well. But again, they don't
Right.
do well with the same offers because what you can do a
India.
$99
Yeah.
product, right? $99, email marketing campaigns,
Yep.
and it's on 90% margin. Like you
Right.
can't go wrong with that. And
Yeah.
people can pay that forever. $99 is nothing.
Yeah.
So it's crazy what you can find out, but you must go through the first deal to find out whether all the new stuff
Right.
you can do.
Yeah, but that reminds me, like what I also learned, like it's way broader than that. Like it was just the belief system that like once I joined this, like now, and I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I have my buddy who is managing other virtual assistants for a different offer. But what I'm saying is that you can see there's so many different avenues to generate revenue through cold calling, through outbound lead generation. So that's what I really that's probably the biggest thing that I got from this whole experience. Not just the agency, not just that, but like opening my eyes, like wow, like you can really start any business online from cold calling. Yeah.
Dude, literally. And I thought the same thing.
Right.
Like when I was doing my SMMA stuff, like in the very beginning, like before I like committed, I was like, dude, what if I could do like credit repair? But
exactly.
you could,
right.
Even if you go through the coaching and you're not doing SMMA, you learn sales skills, you learn how to speak to people, you learn how to write, right? Like these are high income skills that you can actually take anywhere. It's not just SMMA. So that's really cool too. So what has been, and then for like total like results for the last like 6 weeks, like what are we talking as far as revenue?
Oh, revenue. So 3,250. But then let me just look up how many like calls we made, just so you like see where I'm at.
Yeah, let's do some math on this real quick. That way we can see like what your ratios are and stuff like that too.
But then we have to.
How many total deals is that?
No, that's just one deal. That was one deal.
That was
3,250. Yeah.
Got you.
Right. But then also, I had COVID. Remember that? I had COVID for a week. I had COVID for a week. I was down bad. Yeah, so there was an entire week there where I didn't even cold call. And that was before I had the virtual assistants. So it was kind of like 3 weeks it took me to get the first deal. But then that first week I was in a different niche where I just had a bunch of gatekeepers. So it really took me 2 weeks in one niche to get that first deal. But yeah, let me show you.
Thank you for saying that, because now I can change the title. Close the deal in 2 weeks rather than so thank you. Now I can clickbait my viewers.
Yeah, right. So it looks like we have like 15,000 calls since January 9th until today. So it's probably around like 17,000 calls it took to generate that first one.
How many appointments?
Oh, there's so many appointments. Let me see. Like we're getting,
because I'm just trying to get the ratios. But we'll cut all this like just to get the numbers down. But like,
yeah. There's probably like 30 sales calls. Yeah, 30 sales calls. Yeah.
And then one deal.
One deal. Right.
Noted. One deal. But you did it.
We did it.
That's your ratios are obviously much smaller now, right? Because you were just testing.
Yeah.
We're testing stuff, but now your ratios are going to be tighter. So that's really good.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So what's next? You got your deal. You learned how to do it. Now what?
Yeah. What's next? For me, I just like wasting money. Apparently, like I want to run ads, but I'm not going to. Right now, I'm tracking every single sales call more than I did before. So I have an Excel sheet. It's like, on the top of the column, name and then notes. So now every single sales call, I put their name in there and I put the notes, and that way I can track my actual closing rate. And then the big thing I think that I did not do for those first 30 sales calls was the follow up the right way. So now after I talk to them, and if they're, somewhat interested, I get their phone number down. I text them like, hey, thanks for hopping on the call with me. If you have any other questions, let me know. But then after that, I'll text them like every 2 days. Do you have any other questions? Do you have any, is there anything I can help you with? Feel free to reach out. And if they're still not purchasing, then I'm actually going to knock down like $200 off to see if, that's the reason they're not buying. So I think that I'll be able to increase my closing rate by doing the follow-up. And then, yeah, so follow up, the sales call tracking. Once I start closing at least like one deal a week, throw in another cold caller, so I can just have, my calendar even more full than it is now. Eventually get a person who can run the sales calls for me, and then inbound, Facebook ads, maybe some TikTok ads for my niche. But yeah, I just want to hit $1 million as fast as possible. So like, I mean, I don't know if you guys are going to be on the same, way that I'm doing it, but I literally wake up every day like 7 o'clock. Um, and like, I'm literally all in, right? Like I do this 12 hours a day. Just because it's the off season for me. I still own that landscaping business. So hopefully I don't have to go back to that. That's the goal, right? From here, like I do not want to go out there and cut grass and do that physical labor stuff again. So right now I'm all in. Like you guys, if you're going to invest in the program, or if you're not, I suggest you just literally kind of being obsessed with this, and like tracking everything, troubleshooting everything, not letting some BS stop you. Like, okay, don't spend 5-10 minutes, or don't spend like 2 days thinking that your name's your name does not matter. If you can't figure out how to get the dialer working, like go on to the help center, get that fixed as soon as possible. There's going to be so many problems on your journey. You just have to fix them as fast as possible to get to that end result as fast as possible. That's kind of my mindset.
And if you were to, so let's pretend the last 4 weeks didn't happen, but you still have all that same experience and knowledge, what would you do different? Or like, how would you start right now? If that's like, I have nothing, I have no systems, no people, but I still have everything that I learned. What would you do today?
With no money?
Right. Like, no, I'm just saying, like, if you have, you close your deal, let's say it all started again. I'm going to do it again from scratch. I have no people, nothing, no pipeline. What are you going to do to start and get a deal?
I mean, I would do the same thing. Like I would scrape the leads from a lead list. I'd run them into the software. I would hire. Yeah, this is big too. So when I was hiring the virtual assistants, I would try to get the best bang for my buck. I would try to find the cheapest virtual assistant that could do the best job. And then I would also hire somebody who can confirm the appointments and can like run my calendar for me. So all I have to do is just show up and hop on sales calls. And then, yeah, so like I fixed my offer now. And so like for me, like I always wanted to, you have to figure out an offer that works in your niche. So the best way to do that is like find other businesses who are successful already, see what they're offering, and then do it your own way. Because you don't want to, choose a niche and then you're charging an outrageous amount of money and it's not working, or the problem's not big enough for that price and it won't work. So I would find an offer that works, get my virtual assistants, start calling, run cold email. And yeah, that's it. Like you literally just have to get the at bats, record your sales calls, figure out the objections that you're getting. And then, yeah, like that's really it. Like simply, do you have any other like tips? I'm always asking tips too. Like, what should I be doing? Like, is there something that I'm not doing right now that I should be doing? Am I not tracking? Am I not doing the follow up the right way? So I'm constantly asking Dan, whenever we're on the phone, is there something that you wouldn't be doing if you were me? Is there something that you would be doing? Yeah.
And that's another thing too. Like, I don't know if you've ever read the book called Made in America. It's the story of Sam Walton. Yeah. This guy got arrested in Brazil because he was on the floor. Do you know the story, Alex?
No.
Okay. So Sam Walton, right? Walmart. Yeah. He was after his company was already like over $1 billion. Yeah. This guy went to Brazil. Yeah. And he was on the floor in like a little tiny shop, just crawling around. This really old guy just crawling around on the floor, just looking. And he got arrested. Yeah. And when they asked him what he was doing, he said he was measuring the space between the shelves.
Yeah, right.
This guy already has $1 billion company.
Yeah.
So and yet he's still going out and trying to find information that he doesn't have. Right. So that's really key too. Going out and finding those people who already have that info. That way you can, just shave your learning curve and just get to the deals right away.
And then another thing I would say, is like me, like sometimes you'll be like a motivational junkie, right? So you'll watch like a bunch of motivational videos all day, right? and then you don't ever take any action, or you're just watching Dan's videos all day. You're not taking any action. Like for me, like that's the same thing. If you're thinking like you're procrastinating because you don't have the right business name, or you're procrastinating because blah, 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 like it doesn't matter. Like you have to just take action. That is the biggest thing. Like literally growth and acceleration is the only thing that matters, because for me, like I don't think I'm the most talented person on the phone or this or that. You just have to take the most action and you'll eventually get there.
Seriously, because even if you're trash, you're still going to get deals. Like I was telling you guys, I was like,
Right.
okay, once we get 10 appointments, even if you're trash, you're going to get one deal. Like somebody is going to say yes. It's just a
Yep.
numbers game. So,
Right.
yeah, man. Thank you so much for doing this interview. Do you have
Appreciate it.
any last
Yeah.
things you want to tell anybody watching this video?
Yeah. I mean, if you guys really have dreams, then like don't let anybody tell you that you can't do whatever you want. Like for me, I dropped out of college, and like nobody would think that, I'm where I'm at now. So, you guys can literally do whatever you want. You just have to become obsessive and take massive amount of action, and yeah, go from there.
All right, Alex. Well, again, thank you so much for doing the
Yeah.
interview. Congrats on the agency.
Appreciate it.
And we look
Thanks,
forward
man.
to seeing you soon in the future.
Appreciate it. Thanks, bro.